Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Retro Bliss. You're on the Retro Bliss Rewind podcast. Welcome. If you're watching over at Mike's Gaming Gala, we simulcast over there. Welcome to you also. We have a very exciting show tonight. We're going to be talking about Atari, the company, and what's going on. There's some kind of interesting things going on, and we were talking prior to the show in the green room. We could talk for probably a long time. We're going to try not to do that. We're going to try to keep it to an hour. So anyway, let's get the ball rolling. Bring Mike for Mike's Gaming Gala and my very, very special guest who is not new to the Retro Bliss Rewind podcast, BCB.
Hello.
Slash Pac-Man.
He's really our Atari. If I need to get Atari news, he's the first person I go to. I'll go to his channel and check it out, or contact him if I have a question or whatever, because he's in the know.
I usually hear it on my own channel before I hear it. It's kind of weird. I'm like, did I do that? Oh yeah, I did.
It's so cool to have you guys as friends and to talk about one of my very first console was the Atari 2600. And even though I had graduated to other consoles over the years, coming back to it as a retro gamer has just been a treat for me. So exciting. So I really don't know how we get started here.
Well, can we start with, so Torque commented Waka Waka Waka, which of course is Pac-Man. But I replied to him, or if you're playing the 2600 version, it's boing, 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 boing.
Sounds like rubber bands snapping in my ears. Not that I'm bitter about it.
I think something. So, we don't always get, exclusive, information or revelations or something, but sometimes we know people who do. And there is a mutual friend of ours that actually got an exclusive trailer for this Pac-Man 2600 Plus, and I thought maybe we'd just start by playing that.
All right, let's do it.
The fun is back, oh yes sirree. It's the 2600 Plus from Atari. It's a video game system with classics galore, Midnight Mutants with Grandpa, and E.T. Sword. The classic joystick is back for more. King Kong Rocks and Robots from 2084. One more thing, it's got a special low price, $130 bucks. Now isn't that nice? The fun is back, oh yes sirree. It's 2600 Plus from Atari.
Oh, hold the phone. Now there's a great new Pac-Man yellow color. And special edition tariff pricing. The fun is back. Yes, it is, my friend. What?
That was surreal.
Oh,
it was surreal. I could almost smell him. It was,
right.
That's the first
I
time
still
Old
think
Poe's
that
ever been on our show.
Yeah, that original trailer that he did is still probably one of my favorite things on YouTube. So I had to share it.
That was sweet.
And I liked his line, special edition tariff pricing, because of course this version is more, but I don't know if tariffs are because of that. Obviously,
I think it's because of the licensing.
The Pac-Man license.
well,
Yeah.
it's also the 10% that Atari said they were putting on all cartridges starting a few months ago.
Yes,
So they're all 10% more or whatever, supposed to be.
Yeah, so that's a part of it, but I think in terms of the console being, I think, like 160 instead of 130, most of that's going to be the Pac-Man money.
Namco.
It's my thought.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, guys. I'll be back in just a second, okay?
Okay. He was so offended by Old Poe.
He had to take leave of absence.
So,
I'm sorry about that. I had to.
There
we go. All right. I had a little wardrobe malfunction.
Oh dear.
Yeah, listen.
On your head?
Yeah, basically. I wasn't wearing the right glasses. I've been getting migraine headaches. If I don't wear the right glasses at the right times, I get real it's not been good. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about.
We're here to talk about Atari.
So now, let me tell you what I think. Let's talk about the console first, okay? Because that's what we brought up. That was kind of the topic of conversation here. I have a 2600 plus. I have a 7800 plus. Okay, I would love to have this, but if I did get it, I would probably not even open it because it would be just as a collector purchase for me, because it'll do and does the same thing as the ones I already have. But the games, I don't know. Now the website advertises the game pack as a, let me see if I can remember what it said here.
Bliss forgot his pants.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah. Okay. It says high score cart collection. What does that mean? Does that mean that you can save your high scores on these carts? What does that mean?
No, it's 3 games plus I think the 2 homebrews. They like come with patches and pins and things inside the box.
Yes, they do. They each come with its own patch and its own pin.
I'm not sure if it saves your score. I haven't heard that, but I mean, I would like them to. That'd be nice.
It said that on the site, but when I tried to research it on the site, it was not clear at all. So at this point, I don't even know if the 2600 plus, I don't think it even works with the save key yet. I think it might at some point. If it doesn't yet, that would be really nice, especially now that a lot of the new homebrews that do utilize the save key feature do work on the new 2600 and 7800 pluses. So
yeah, and
that's why I was curious.
Torque mentions here the new Pac-Man version has an updated board parity with the 7800 plus for controller support. For example, it finally works with a video keypad, which the standard 2600 plus doesn't, which is a very good reason to pick it up even just there. As for and it's funny because Arcade Chaos here says it's his favorite looking Atari was always a Junior, but this one takes it by a mile. That yellow is so damn garish to me. I understand, but maybe if it had yellow accents and maybe like the blue and black maze with white dashes or something like that.
I love it because it's like classic. I like to think of it this way, but it's kind of like that, like classic tacky Atari color. You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah. To me, it looks tacky.
I like it. It stands out. It's iconic. And I know that, a lot of us have the 2600 plus or whatever already. I mean, of course I pre-ordered it. Got to have it. And it's the first time that I think it's the first time that 5200 Pac-Man has been released like this, right? Like again,
possibly. Yeah.
My understanding. And then Bob Dacre Shinzo had a big hand in it.
And I will say, I agree with Radio King here. If you're going to get the console, you got to get all those Ghost controllers with it. You got to have the full controllers.
I didn't do it.
There's something that Atari put out that you didn't pick up?
I'm waiting for it to go on clearance because it's $200. That's too much money. And it comes with one yellow. I mean, I've already got like 5 other controllers. I'm okay. But it's the one thing I'm going to wait until they go on clearance because, has a sale, because they always do this with the pre-orders. Everyone rushes. It's on Amazon now too, by the way, someone told me.
Okay.
And I told them to order, the watches anyway, the My Play watch. And I think the rest is coming, but I said order off of there to avoid any issues. And then, but yeah, it's just, they always have a sale like when it's launched, and it's always 30% off or something. So I'm going to wait on those. I mean, it's just going to sit on a shelf, kind of like y'all were saying earlier. So
I mean, if this turns out to be like the 7800 plus, where like it's on sale for $80 in 6 months, I will totally pick up one. Then.
It is going to be.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It is going to be. Just wait.
I do think because it is brilliant marketing. If you're talking about franchises that define that early 80s scene, you're talking Space Invaders, Donkey Kong, and Pac-Man. And so it makes perfect sense. You're never going to get Donkey Kong licensing. You could probably get Space Invaders licensing in the future.
I
But
wanna
I think it'll do better than the 7800 plus.
It might, but I tell you what, that yellow. My thing is like if you were to use it, like if you just keep it in the shrink wrap or what, nobody cares, right? But oh my goodness,
What? How many did you buy, Hugo?
right? I don't know. He bought games and everything.
He bought
Anyway,
everything plus a little bit more.
But that yellow, I knowing how plastics age, that color's gonna fade and look. I think it's gonna look terrible in like 5-10 years. It's not gonna look very good at all.
At least here in our, in our collector community, how many people are actually going to play this one? If I bought it, it would sit in the box on my shelf.
Exactly.
Me too. I'm just going to play the game, the double feature game,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And that comes in the box set too, by the way. So if you didn't want to buy this, you can buy the box set and get all the games. And
That's my plan.
Do that.
My first is to get the box set, and then I'm with Mike when the rest of it, comes down some. I don't know that I'm going to have every color controller either. I just think that might be overkill. I don't know. I don't need it.
I'll get it eventually.
This is another example of what Atari has done, and it seems to work because we all fall for it. They remarket and repackage stuff that they already have.
Chaos has a point. When it comes to gaming royalty, that yellow is a royal color.
It's also the color of the yellow cheese at Kmart back in '84 on their nachos. Just so y'all know. You remember that, Mr. Bliss?
So it really brackets the whole royalty thing. It's right up here and then it's right down here.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this the other day. This kind of, I actually wasn't expecting this at all. I had not heard this anywhere with any of my like sources or anything. It was very well guarded. But this kind of, I was excited too, because this kind of opens the floodgates, as it were, for different styled consoles, maybe. Yep. Although I would love to see a Jag Mini first or a VCS Plus first, but it opens the floodgates because there's Space Invaders, there's like combat, there's adventure. So you can imagine there's a game that's just as iconic, they might have something else like this out.
And this is
7800 plus. I don't know.
Yeah, and this is something that when we did our podcast on the 7800 plus, when it was announced, I said the same thing, that I don't have a problem with them releasing the same thing over and over in different packages. You want to make a Vader Plus, go ahead. You want to make a Junior Plus, go ahead. My big problem with the 7800 Plus is that when it was announced, there was still not an official patch for the 2600 Plus to fix the not insignificant issues that had. But now that there is, I mean, go nuts. I would hope that is, and they can keep doing it, but I would hope that is not the extent of their plans for the future, because, and I got lots of I posted a video on Sunday of just kind of voicing my opinion about what was going on, and it wasn't negative, but it wasn't like stupidly positive either. It is one of those things where I got a lot of good feedback, and it's like one of them that stood out to me was that a guy said, it's like, I think you and a lot of other YouTubers are thinking too much within the sphere of the diehards, whereas Atari's market is much broader than the diehards. So they want something that's as broadly appealing as possible. And that's what makes things like a Jag Plus or an Intellivision Plus or a Lynx Plus or 5200 Plus potentially much more scary for them.
Yes.
Because they don't have the broad audience. It's the core people that would be clamoring for it, but it might not have as broad an appeal.
This is exactly why RK1 keeps re-releasing Pac-Man. It comes out every year. Why? Because that's what most people want to buy when they buy one cab only, right? It's that Pac-Man cab with the 10 games on it, and they keep putting it back out. And this also reminds me of what you said, Retro Bliss, in our interview, the air last night. You said, and you were talking about in the whole kind of interview about it, maybe on part one, but you were talking about how you when you started your channel, you were playing Pac-Man Arcade a lot, right? Because people were watching, and it's such an iconic franchise. This makes total sense to me from a business point of view.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It does.
absolutely.
It does. People are going to buy it for Christmas, for whatever, because it's Pac-Man. And I mean, most of them might not even care that some of these games have not come out in 30, 40 years. Some of them aren't going to care that it's another 2600 plus because maybe they didn't buy one. So it's going to be a hot seller because of Pac-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. As for what Chaos is saying here, I did mention, yellow highlights, but then maybe play on the blue and black with the white dots somehow, or maybe even just on the grill on the top of the system. I mean, I'm not saying I have a great idea for it. I'm just saying that yellow, I don't need, if I bought that and I left it out in a dark room, I wouldn't need a nightlight.
You know what would be
that
cool?
right.
I know that they're including the Pac-Man collection card, which has a 7800 and the 2600 version. But what would be cool is if they were to make an alternate plus console where the games were preloaded. That would be kind of cool because that's something that we've not seen yet, and that's something that Atari has never done on any of their consoles I know of.
Also, well, all the flashback consoles had preloaded games with a menu, but the 2600 plus systems aren't set up to have a menu. If they made it so that if you start it up with no cart in it, it brings you up a menu where you could play games.
Well, you can still do that because if you turn on the console with no cart in there and you hit the start and select button, the menu does come up. You know that, right? Yep.
I've never done that. Okay.
Yep. Because you can.
That's
how you. I was trying to figure out how you activate the 2-button option, and that's how you do it. You have to do it without a card in there, and you turn it on, and then you press start select at the same time, and it brings up a menu. So in theory, they could put those games right there. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Someone told me that
would also be perfect. Or maybe have a load from SD card option.
That would have been what I really wanted to see. That's what we all talked about too, and it never happened. That's what concerns me about these new. We're speculating on other consoles that we haven't really. You touched on them, but Casey, the Intellivision gamer, he's on here, and he wants a Intellivision Plus. I would love that too, but the market isn't as big, whatnot. But why not? Regardless of what they put out, it doesn't matter. Why can they not? Because there's the capability for the SD card is already on the board.
Yep,
it's already on the board. All they need to do is make access to it.
Maybe they're scared that people aren't going to buy more of these, or that aren't savvy enough aren't going to buy more of these.
So I think they'll sell more systems if they do it, because now your system has a broader appeal. So people who don't want to play carts will still buy your system. You can't get the Retron 77 anymore. You can, and yes, you can emulate on your PC. It's easy, it's cheap. But some people would really like just that little thing. And again, I have to look at these. I'm a homebrew channel. I look at things from the perspective of the homebrew community. And someone was like, oh, if they just preloaded a whole bunch of ROMs on it and you could play the ROMs. Yeah, that's all well and good, but that doesn't help me if I buy a new ROM from Champ Games.
Right.
I want to play new games. Like, yes, everybody has access. You hop into Google, you can get every single original Atari 2600 game, and it will fit on, like, it's on the smallest of SD cards. And yes, as OG Hugo says here, nothing replaces putting an actual cart in the system, but you have to realize there are tons of people, even in the homebrew community. I have heard from some homebrew publishers that do produce physical carts that up to 50% of their sales are ROMs, because people don't have room to buy carts of everything they want, but they'll buy the ROM. Or maybe that game isn't worth paying $60 to have on a cartridge, but it's a fun little game that you can play for $10 in a ROM sale. So having the SD card slot there, or the ability to play ROM somehow, even just make it compatible with flash carts if you can do that, makes it that much more usable for a wider variety of people to be able to play the games that the way they want to play them.
Yeah.
I still think that this move with the Pac-Man was, I mean, I was shocked that they even forked over the money, I'm sure, to get the Bandai Namco license, even though, Mike had alluded to this prior to the show, that they're a little bit more liberal about selling their rights. Not so much. He also mentioned Donkey Kong will never see a Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Nintendo's never going to sign over Donkey Kong to anybody else.
Maybe Kong from Tiger.
Yeah, maybe. And yeah, Arcade Chaos, especially with the latest patch, most homebrews are compatible. There are still some that aren't. That's always going to be a problem with a ROM dumper.
Let me explain something about that, because John Champeau of Champ Games, his games are the ones that most people have been really concerned about playing on their new consoles. And they right now, and I went to the Atari Age website where the updater is. It's still technically beta. It's not an official release from Atari yet, but you can go there and get the beta. And depending on which version, like I have a number of the Champ games that I bought when Atari Age sold them. And so some of those either don't work, a couple of them either don't work, or they don't work exactly correctly. There might be like some crackling in the sound or something. But for the most part, once that gets released and you do your update, you're going to be able to play most homebrews now. This is exciting. That's an exciting thing that's happened too. But I don't think Atari had anything to do with that. I think
these patches are community builds.
Yeah.
But at least one of them is official. Like it's a previous one, but at least one of them is official.
They make them official because they own Atari Age and they upload them to Atari.
Why wouldn't you?
Right. I agree.
Hey, I have some exciting news about this too. I just heard yesterday. I talked about this on Atari Newsline today, just like an hour ago. But I have a subscriber, viewer to my channel. He's a supporter. He's awesome, and he messaged me. And you guys know that Atari was at SDCC last weekend, the San Diego Comic-Con, and they were selling $100 Pac-Man cartridges, right?
And they're already all over eBay. Yeah,
they are for $200, $300. But this friend of mine, he's a supporter of the channel. He bought me a copy and he's sending me one tomorrow.
Nice.
So I get to play it.
Oh man, that is awesome. And after you're done playing, I'll give you my address so you can.
I was shaking. I was like, really? It was almost like when you won YouTuber of the year or YouTuber of the month, Mike. I was shaking when talking about the nominations and all that, and that's kind of the same kind of feeling. I was like, oh my god. So that's coming. It should be your Thursday. Hopefully I'll have something out Thursday night, Friday. You guys know I'm quick, so it'll be out pretty soon.
Maybe, and I was actually just about to ask you, maybe you have some insight that Phil and I wouldn't have. Do you have any idea how well the Plus systems or the Plus games have been selling? Do you have any idea of numbers?
I do know on Atari's quarterly reports that they put out, that they mention those sales are doing well. It doesn't say exactly how much, but they're making more than they made now in 10 or 15 years. So and a lot of that is because of the 2600 Plus sales and the Plus carts, and then also Digital Eclipse and Night Dive got a lot of credit for those games, which made a lot of money. So
okay. Well, because
you don't really know
when you were like, well, they said that sales are doing well. Yeah. And the president at the State of the Union always starts with the State of the Union is strong, whether it is or not.
Right. They're gonna... Yeah. But the proof is in the pudding, right? They're talking about, they're making
obviously,
more made. So they're doing well. And I would say half of it has to do with Night Dive and Digital Eclipse. And the other half is probably the console and the games that they have out.
Yeah. Obviously, because they're kind of sticking to this this Plus ecosystem, if you could call it an ecosystem. You can say 2600 Plus, 7800 Plus, and Pac-Man Plus. They're all the same. It's all one thing with slight improvements each time, which again, I don't have a problem with, but you can't say it's like, oh, this wide world of. but obviously that's working for them because they're
Yeah.
continuing to do it.
It is. And that's why this Pac-Man console makes sense. You know, it's probably the most popular game ever made. I'm not sure about that, but it seems like it might be. It's one of many way, and you know, it sold millions of copies, and it makes sense to me. I am really excited about having 2600 Pac-Man on the console and the 5200 version, the computer versions, and all
Bill
that.
is super excited as well. I will comment to this. The community build, like I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but because you used to be able to, you can still go to Atari Age threads and look at that without having to log in. You can still get access to that.
Yes.
So you do not have to be a member, because I know, and Brian, I know you've got your issues with Atari Age, particularly some moderation that goes on there as well. And I had my first issue.
I love their magazine.
So it isn't, you're not excluded if you're not a member of Atari Age. You can still go to the site and browse and find the patch.
And you know, and I hate to talk about it. You know, it's not like a blanket statement. There is a lot of greatness out of Atari Age. I mean, I have friends there too. And I mean, that's where I get some of my news from, is from this guy named Power Dubs and a couple others on Atari Age. And they're great. They're like faster than I am. So I hear it from them, I put it out, you know. But you know, there are some useful people on there and some great communities, but you know, but there's still, I do encounter that, here's the VCS guy, you know, kind of on there. And unfortunately it's still around, you know. Yeah. I like everything Atari puts out. I like the 2600, which I grew up with. I like the 7800, the 5200, I have all the computers except for the Falcon. I love them all. I even have the portfolio and all the stuff. It's awesome stuff. It's great technology and fun to collect. And it's just, you know.
Can we talk about the versions of Pac-Man that are on this?
Yeah. Why don't you start us off?
Well, obviously you guys know the 2600 version I do not like is on there. All right. Well,
that's the arcade version?
No.
Well, because you love the 2600 version of
Pac-Man. Wrong.
Actually, after this, there's a short of this week's reviews intro, and you are in this week's intro, and you get to do a big rant about Pac-Man. So,
did you record that?
Anybody who's a fan of hearing Phil whine about Pac-Man, you'll want to watch that review.
Yeah, you definitely want to do that. But you know, nostalgia plays a big part in anything that we do with retro gaming, and I know that BCB has a lot of positive nostalgia for Pac-Man because that's really what he grew up with. You know, it came with it. Did your console come with it? I think that
our third one did. Yes.
Well, you know,
even back then he bought multiples of everything.
I had my console for 3 years before it even got released. So there was much anticipation. And anyway, I got a big letdown, as many of us did back in those days. But I wanted to talk about the 7800 version that's also on there. Now, this is exciting because our buddy Bob DeCrescenzo, who's been on this podcast with us, had programmed a Pac-Man 40th anniversary collection that had and it had both scrolling and still frames in there, and but it had like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, the one with the cola and all that stuff.
Pac-Man Plus or something.
Yeah, you know, and yeah, Pac-Man Plus and stuff. Yeah. I'm not sure what's on that cart, except for we know from what we can see that it is a modified one screen only version of Pac-Man. Now, I do not know how you access both. Are they toggle switches? Is there going to be a menu when you turn it on? How, you know, but we know it's all on one cart.
Yeah, and So any homebrew that I had, like even Game Select homebrews, which you would think would work, because they had a menu that then pointed to another section of the ROM, they wouldn't play. So I would imagine they're probably toggle switches.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
think so
I would
too.
think so too.
I think Mr. Posa has a great idea. A steeplechase themed Sears Arcade Plus.
You know what's cool about that? Our first 2600 was actually a Sears Video Arcade, and my dad, we were at Sears. This is one of my early memories. I wanted Asteroids, and it was like 81 or so, and you know, he got the Sears Video Arcade, and I was like, but I wanted 2600. It was the same thing.
Yes.
I didn't know that though. I wanted the actual console because my friends had it, right? And then he got one free game, and he chose Steeplechase. I think that's why he's saying that, because it was the first game I played at home, and after a while I got tired of it, so I begged Dad to take me back and get Asteroids and Missile Command and Combat, all those, and then
Or the classics.
yeah, and then when Pac-Man 2600 came out a year later, of course we had to get it. I was like bullied in the arcades as a little kid. Like the bigger kids are pushing me out of the way, kicking me. And my dad, he was whipping. He didn't like that. So he like threw a couple of kids against a wall, and we left or whatever. He didn't deal with people.
Child abuse.
Sound like the
Yeah.
things my dad did.
He didn't
when I
deal
was
with
a
it,
kid.
right? And
Yeah.
I love him for it. But you know, we waited in line, and that was my Pac-Man for me that no one else could play. Of course, I let people play it, but it was mine, and I was so proud of it. And that was Pac-Man to me at 7 years old. And I hear similar stories about Star Raiders from folks that are older, right? That when they got that was theirs, and you know, and I actually think it might be like an age thing or a generational thing, because I know you were older and you could tell the difference. I really couldn't tell the difference at 7. I didn't care. I just wanted to play Pac-Man.
Well, yeah, and it was
I
my
didn't really-
first.
I didn't.
It was my first
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
I didn't realize really that it was different, you know, until
Yeah.
a year later.
Oh, you
But-
play later and you're like, oh, this is better, but it doesn't make what I had bad.
Yeah, right.
Jeremiah Thomas mentions here that the 7800 Pac-Man is the Pac-Man from the 40th anniversary, altered to get rid of the scrolling, which back when they were available, the ROMs were available for free. There were two different versions of the ROM. So one
Right.
didn't have scrolling, and then the one that ended up being on the cartridge did have scrolling.
Right.
So it did already exist.
I was going to add to. I'm talking to Bob Shenzo tomorrow for the channel. I'm going to put out some like clips here and there before the interview comes out, so I will have something from him talking about these games very soon.
Cool.
Well, you know, I'm not going to say a whole lot about the 2600 version. If you guys really want my thought on that, you have to check out Mike's review coming up on Thursday.
Yes.
Or the interview that I did with you guys, because you talk about it in there too.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. Wait, yeah,
And in that interview, I played the violin for him too.
Yeah,
yeah,
and I had a small one too. If you look, I had a little something going on. I do understand though. I understand from your perspective as an older kid. I do.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I really do. I would feel the same way if I was older.
I had to
Meaning-
buy all of my games. I did not get, my parents did not buy me one game. They bought me the Sears 2600, and CK was talking about it being the generic. That's kind of how I looked at it. I looked at it as a generic 2600. I didn't really realize that it was but anyway, I had to buy everything. And so when they said Pac-Man was coming out, man, I knew I was going to have to save my money, and I did. I worked for it, and then when it came out,
And then he'd be so grumpy, and he'd push kids at the arcade, and then your dad beat him up. Yeah.
yeah, I was the
I'm
one
gonna
pushing you out of the way so I could play the real thing.
You probably were. I was going to ask.
I'm
Mr.
kind of
Bliss.
jealous because my dad, I remember there was this one time there was this kid at the park punching me, and I looked at my dad, and my dad was just like,
Punch
so
him
I
back.
punched him back, and my dad was super proud of me.
Well, that's
Mine
the way
did
we
that
were
too.
brought up. You know, you
Mine
don't
did
let
too.
anybody hit you without you retaliating. Nowadays, you get in trouble for teaching your kid that kind of thing. But yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
rolled.
So according to Poe, Bliss was already a grumpy old man when Pac-Man 26.
I was.
Yeah.
I was 56.
I was going to ask.
Actually, my birthday is next week. My birthday is next week, and I will be 60. Can you believe that, guys?
Wow, happy
I will
birthday.
be. You just turned
I
50,
believe it.
right,
You're
BCB?
50, yeah.
You just turned 50, so I got 10 years on you, man.
Mike just turned 25.
I will be 44 in September.
Man, my
On her
drawers
heels.
are that I'm wearing right now are 44.
It ain't the years
old.
though; it's the miles. I'm feeling the miles.
I feel the mile.
I hear you.
I was
So-
going to ask
Ted
you
is
what
here.
your-
Ted Adam Green. What's up, bro?
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Brian.
I know. I was just going to ask you because you talked about you paying for it. How much did you pay for your Pac-Man 2600? Did
Me?
you say 100 something?
No, he was adjusting for inflation. He spent.
Oh,
40
Yeah,
bucks.
if you adjust, it
Okay.
was around $40-$45,
Ours was
something like
50.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
We got a
$45.
We got a
That
t-shirt.
for me, that was a lot of money back in what 1981,
Yeah, it
I
was
think,
100
when it
bucks.
came out.
No, it came out in '82.
Something.
82. Well, yeah. See, I was. Oh, don't even get me
So
started.
I made all the
You
difference.
get me riled up. You get me riled up, and I don't.
What was your
wanna-
job at the time, Retro Bliss? Where were you working?
Well, the only job I had coming up at home was I worked in a grocery store, so
Oh,
I
okay.
was either a cashier or stock clerk or I even did some management there too, but it just not at 15, 16 years old,
Yeah.
you know.
So you
but
stacked a lot
that
of
was
groceries for that game.
bagged a lot of groceries. Put my minimum wage was $3.25 an hour. That's what I was. That's
I've
what
heard
I
that.
was. That's what I was making. So, but the thing of it is, I don't remember having that job when Pac-Man came out. I don't think I started that job till '83. So, yeah, I had to do it the hard way. I had to mow the lawns, and I didn't eat lunch. I saved my lunch money and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I need
That's how you
to.
got trauma around
Actually, I've
it.
been part of a support group. If you guys want to be part of the Pac-Man 2600 support group, contact me on the channel, and we will hook you up on how to get help. There's help out there. It's
Where-
there.
I put that up to point out to everybody that we have way derailed.
Yeah, we have. Let's.
So,
All right. So
Why don't we talk
about
about
the games that are on
the
there?
new games that have come out?
Okay, but what we didn't talk specifically about what games were going to be coming in the high score cart collection. So the games, it's $169.99 US for 4 games. Not bad. That's not too bad, really.
I pre-ordered it.
Yeah. You get the Pac-Man double feature. You get 7800 Galaga, 7800 Xevious, and 7800 Dig Dug. And the carts, they're in a 4-pack kind of a enclosure there. And each box is a different color, and the carts are even different colors. They're not the standard black. They each have their own color. And
You also
like
get the double feature game as well.
yeah, and like BCB was saying earlier, you get patches for each individual game. There are pins, I guess, that you can wear. And then let's see, just a collective pack. It's a collectible packaging. That's another thing too. I'd like to open it, but yet, I'm afraid that if I open it, the value just drops. So I don't know what I want to
Welcome
do.
to my world.
I used to worry about that. The only people who will care about the value of any of this stuff are my kids after I'm dead. So
And they're not gonna care.
if I'm paying for it, I want to enjoy it. I'm going to open it.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it, look at it, all that stuff. And I think you should
That's how I
too,
kind
Phil.
of think
Fair.
about it too.
You
I'm like-
said you're turning 75 next week, and so we've got to
Yeah.
you got to live your life now.
I don't look a day over 72.
I mean, that's I buy almost everything that they put out to talk about on the channel, and it's and there's many times and I'm like, as soon as I open this, it's going to be devalued by 99% because this stuff's up on eBay for twice the price right now.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I just want to enjoy it with the channel and have that moment. And that moment to me is priceless.
Well, you get all
That's how I'm
giddy.
touched by it.
You already said you get all giddy when you start thinking about and especially when you get that email from Atari saying something's on the way.
Yeah.
Something's on the way. It's
in
coming.
6 to 8 months.
It may
Yeah.
be 6-8 months after the fact, but it's on. They're pretty good about contacting you and letting
Yes.
you know
They're-
once it actually does get shipped. They are pretty good about that.
They
I've
are pretty
noticed.
good with at least the regular editions of the games. I've never had a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but if I were to pre-order, if it were me, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna wait like Mike. But if I were to pre-order anything, it would probably be through Amazon because they seem to once it's
Because Atari makes a deal with Amazon, and they're going to honor their deal with a big company that's getting a whole pile of these.
Right.
More than higher priority than they are for any individual, even though those individuals are the most diehard fans. Like Ballistic Coffee, if you want to see some absolute gold, go back to winter or late fall of 2023 on Ballistic Coffee Boys channel and watch his descent into depression as everybody else gets their 2600 plus.
Oh, I
and is putting
remember that.
reviews up.
Oh, yeah.
that
And
was
he's there like a
priceless.
month later. It's like, does Atari still
FOMO.
love me?
Yeah. But prior to that, you could literally see the steam coming out of his ears when other people would
Well, it's
talk
like, you
about
know,
trying to do their reviews. He's wanting to review this thing for his channel and he can't because he
it's like
didn't
you
get
put
it.
It's like you open up YouTube and everyone and their grandmother, like people in Indonesia have videos, and I'm like, I pre-ordered it the first hour it was out, the first 5 minutes probably, because that was back then. But
Well,
Yeah.
if you would order, if you were getting the quantity that Amazon was getting, you would have been priority.
yes, and here's how I'll explain it to people. If you order something from Atari, it's one guy named Phil in a warehouse somewhere. One. If you order it from Amazon, it's thousands and thousands of people in the warehouses.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And
So
that's
Phil, you need to step up your game.
I'm the one dude, right?
Is that your moonlighting job you're talking about?
You know what? If I want to keep collecting, I may have to get another
I know, right?
job. I keep saying I've got to put the brakes on, and I just hit the accelerator instead. But
I'm gonna have to sell a kidney if anything else comes out. I mean, crap.
I can't keep doing it, and I say that, and then I do it. It's like I can't
That's how
afford
they
it.
get you. And you know what? I was actually I'm not going to lie. I'm not the biggest Pac-Man fan in the world, just in general, not any specific version. I like Pac-Man. I've never been great at it. It's, I'll play it if I see it in the arcade, but it's not something like I never had Pac Fever. I know Brian did. I never had Pac Fever. So this one, even despite that, it was so tempting because again, it's like they have the colored joystick. It's a well put together package.
Oh, so cool.
It's a well put together package, and so it is very enticing, even if you're not the biggest Pac-Man fan in the world.
I think someone here is a Pac-Man fan. I don't know who that would be.
Just a little.
But the thing is, and if it does drop down to $80, I'm picking it up. But
You will.
again, if we're just talking, specific, if they did come out with the Space Invaders 2600 plus, I'd have to pre-order that one. I would have to, because I'm a huge Space Invaders fan.
That's gonna be next year, Mike.
You know what? I don't doubt it.
I
just hope it's in addition to something else.
I'd be on that like a bee on a honey dipped hamburger.
In the summer in Nebraska or whatever,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I had the wrong Phil in the Atari warehouse. The guy's name is Phil, my damn order.
Oh. Mr. P, you're too smart.
Feel these, okay?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
So
Anyway.
the games.
So
We've
the
talked
game
44 minutes about Pac-Man. Let's talk about the other games.
Well,
Galaga.
I'm not a big fan of the 7800 version of Galaga, if I'm being honest. I am not.
It's not as bad as some of the others I've seen. I like it.
Yeah, Yeah. But it's there, you know. But Xevious and Dig Dug, yeah. Definitely.
Love Dig Dug.
Yeah, those are
It's a
all of them
great
are
version of
classics.
Dig
All
Dug,
of them
yeah.
are, but
Do we
I-
talk about also the recent ones that went out? I know Funkmaster V had a great review of Tiger Heli.
I haven't even opened the plastic
Oh,
off
you
of the
haven't?
box yet.
Mine's coming out this Friday. My review of all 5. So I'm doing them right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I like them.
I'm having surgery next week, and I've got it's everything. Every day I've got something going on. I have not been feeling well. I've been getting migraines, and so in between trying to feel good and doing what I got to do, I don't have time to do videos. I either don't feel like doing them or I don't have time. So it's just right now, and it's going to get worse too, guys, because I'm having shoulder replacements. So after that, I'll be able to play, but I don't know about. I may have to.
So
Pay Mike under the table or something for doing thumbnails and setting things up for me because I can't.
I was going to tell you, Phil, you should do what Johnny Carson did, like in the late 80s or the mid to late 80s. He had that show called Carson's Comedy Classics. So it could be you in a chair with a cigar in front of a fireplace, and on August 12th.
But before that happens,
2024,
maybe we should stick to the podcast topic and talk about the games that you two guys bought and I didn't. So you guys have to talk about the games. Stop talking about your damn shoulder.
I'm excited for the games.
All right, so Tiger Heli.
Thank you.
Tiger Heli, I have not opened, but I'm anxious to. I just did. So, spoiler alert, what'd you think of it, BCB?
I liked it a lot. I really did. I really
think it's a good version.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm still doing my review right now, but so far so good. I really like it.
Awesome. Let's see. So, Countermeasure 2, that is a redo of what was the name of it? Oh, Failsafe. Was it Failsafe? By Bob De Crescenzo. I have not opened that one either, but Failsafe is a fun game. So that would be a good one.
I'm not sure if you have to have 2 players or not with that. I haven't gotten to that one yet in my review, so haven't. I'm gonna play it tonight.
Yeah, Obsidian's right. How have you not opened Tiger Heli yet? It does look awesome.
Dark Chambers. That's a good one. And then Super Circus Atari. That is another Bob De Crescenzo offering that he wrote, which is really good as well. And then Avalanche. I don't know if it's been changed in any way from the original by John Champeau.
I've got it back here, I think.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay. So I'd have to look at it. I haven't opened any of these actually. But yeah. So those are the 5 new games that are in cartridge form. But there have been some other games that they have that are not for the 2600 or 7800 plus. Missile Command Delta. Have you played that?
I didn't get that one because at the time there was other stuff I needed to pre-order and had bills to pay, so I could not. I have a limit every month that I'd already exceeded it, and there was something about that game that was really yelling at me. So I was talking about this, a couple of days ago on the channel. There was nothing about it that was really just grabbed my attention, so I didn't get it. It also didn't come out on the BCS, so like a lot of us didn't get it because there was some saying that it would. So I was just kind of like, I'll get it later, maybe if there's a sale, Yeah. That's kind of how I felt about it.
Okay, so
go ahead, Mike.
Can I make a comment? Because this is now the second time that the guy famous for buying absolutely everything that comes from Atari has said, you know what, maybe if it comes on sale later down the road.
You know why?
Which leads to
student loans.
Well, fair enough, but it's not like these student loans started 2 months ago.
They did.
Oh, okay. All right. Because, well, but it does lead me to this question from Tolbat. What does Atari do when they've milked the nostalgia to death? Like, what are the new ideas? And then he did rephrase to be a little less, dickish.
I don't think you
and
could
I
ever
mean, where
milk
do
it.
they pivot next?
I don't think you could ever milk it because, well, there's going to come a point when everyone that was around whenever it was released is going to be gone. So in the near future, they might have to reinvent it or something in the future. But it's going to keep coming out because everyone loves Pac-Man. It's popular, so they're going to put on everything they can.
Well, here's the thing, my kids don't love Pac-Man.
Right.
And that's
Future
one thing,
generation.
if Jeremiah Thomas is in the chat, he's going to give me crap for even mentioning Nintendo. But that's one thing that Nintendo has done really, really well, in that every generation there is a version.
Yeah.
Every generation had their Mario. We
Yeah.
had our Mario, my kids have their Mario, and their kids are going to have their Mario, presumably. And so what does Atari do to either extend nostalgia or pivot? Like you were talking about a VCS2. Now, I think both of us know that is nowhere near on the priority list of Atari, but it would stand to reason that if they could get something maybe smaller that would have broad appeal and maybe bring in some new people, because the vast majority of people buying this 2600 plus are either enthusiasts or people who were around when the original was out.
So you look at the major consoles like Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, that kind of thing. When they release games that are exclusive to their console, but they also release cross-platform games that could be, you play on any system. Atari doesn't really have that. Like they have games that they sell on Steam, that they sell on the Switch, that they sell on Xbox or whatever. They're selling their brand to those people that could play either on the VCS or on some of their consoles. But you're not going to see vice versa. I mean, if you don't see vice versa, if you don't see Atari getting a console that can keep up and start playing for these young kids, because the nostalgia is going to be gone. I don't know how you pivot. I don't know how you pivot. The IPs that they're acquiring are not that great. I don't think, like Bubsy.
Well, and I think the pivot has to Bubsy. The pivot has to happen before it's, oh my God, nobody's buying our stuff anymore.
Right.
But they're not doing that. They're doing exactly what we said a year and a half ago or a year ago when we were talking about this on this channel. They're just putting the same stuff out with a different packaging on it. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah. And I just think, as their portfolio grows, hopefully they'll acquire other games, out there, like, all these games that like Night Dive and Digital Clips have put out. So I think going forward, they will have a lot of games that they can re-release in the future or keep building upon. But they do need to revitalize the IPs, like Mike was saying, like, Nintendo. Everyone has their version of Mario.
Yeah.
Where's everyone's version of, all these Atari games, right?
And in fairness to most of these Atari games, they don't have like that strong narrative or that strong character that they can carry on, but some of them do.
Like a Bentley Bear, Crystal Castles, all that. And it is kind of a shame because really, when these games are popular, it was not a like thing in the industry to have a mascot in a game. I mean, it's the early 80s, right? So there were a few and that's when it kind of started. Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, all that, in my opinion. But it was really early. And I think Nintendo and other companies and like Sega kind of figured it out. Oh, we need a mascot. We need to make all these sequels or whatever. And, and milk it. I don't think Atari kind of knew how to back then, or didn't do it, or Warner didn't do it. So, but it's a shame. But I do think it's not too late. They could,
and in
make
fairness,
new games now,
in
so.
fairness to Crypto Coffee and to Atari, they have, like, I would say the last 3 years compared to what they had done the previous 20, they have been killing it.
They're going up.
They have been doing really, really well.
Yeah.
And so I'm not asking, I was asking more as a devil's advocate, but I'm not asking in Atari, you're not doing the right things. It's more of I want Atari to still be around in 30 years from now, 40 years from
Right.
now. And I know that just releasing a new plus with Space Invaders or Adventure or Yar's Revenge ain't going to cut it. So that's why I pose the question.
And that's a question I don't think we can answer. I don't think they can. They don't.
They have had out like Yar's Rising, things like that, and the recharge games. So in a sense, there are newer versions of some games, but not a lot, right? But one of my favorites is Yar's Recharge. I freaking love that game. And but it
is fun.
What 18-year-old is going to rediscover that now? Probably not many. I don't know, but I would hope. But and there's Yar's Rising, things like that have come out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They have been doing
is
some
coming out
stuff
too. Yeah.
And there is absolutely zero chance I can foresee that Atari has any interest in trying to compete with the major consoles, primarily because they are such a small company in comparison.
But if they don't, they're going to fade into the sunset.
I think that target, though, because we still, Atari fans are moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas right now. You make kids consoles that have not completely remastered, but maybe slightly remastered of these games to appeal to, like, again, you try to build that new young fan base, maybe. I don't have the answers, but you'd have to do something to get some younger people into it, because I don't know, aside from my kids, because damn it, I raised them right. I don't know anyone personally that under 20, like all my kids' friends and all that, that has any interest in playing Atari.
It's entirely possible after we're gone, it might not be around anymore. I don't know. Because you do have to have a audience, right? And if we're gone, what are they going to feast upon? It's going to be
make them sound like they're eating us.
I know, right? It's going to be like Atari 50, the 2030 edition, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Atari 100, right? Atari 75. So there are some like benchmarks where they could have out different compilations, but yeah, I don't know how they would last another, 100 years. I don't know.
And maybe they don't, and maybe that's okay. But yeah. I think some effort should be put into appealing to people who aren't over 40.
Yes.
I think they're grasping at straws. I think they're trying, but they're grasping at straws. I don't think whatever they're looking into is, as far as from a hardware standpoint, is not going to work. They may be like Sega has turned into and just be software based only at some point,
which is fine.
Which
I mean, they were as infograms.
Yes. But with that, I would see the company, unless they came up with a killer app of some type. They're just going to kind of, do you remember Atari way back when? That's just the talk that's going to be. Yeah, I heard of them before. It's not going to be, Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, or, they roll off the tongue because everybody knows them. But these younger kids, Atari, I've heard of that. What is that? Right.
I think we're always going to have these like compilations out, right? And one of the issues is, I mean, really, the video games business has only been around kind of as long as Atari, a little bit before, right? So like 60 years or something. And so there's
we know at least they're around in like Blade Runner time.
Yeah. and there's no kind of like there's no baseline to go from it because it's so new, really. So where does it go in the future? I see them putting out more compilations down the road, and 50, 100 years, it's going to be a novelty. I don't know, but one
Oh,
thing,
Obsidian beat me to it in the comments. I didn't even see that one.
yeah, they do. I mean, one thing Nolan mentioned, I'm actually doing this like series on him now on my Spotify, on Atari Stories called the Bushnell Files, and Nolan Bushnell talked about Atari, back in the day. We were always for innovation. We were very innovative, even when Warner got them, and that's kind of true in a way. And
It's also
continued with
counter
that.
true because Nolan Bushnell, in order to help keep Atari ahead, was actually stifling innovation by not letting other companies buy chips. I remember watching this whole interview with him where he was like, oh yeah, we'd put like fake orders. We were never going to buy from them, but it would reserve the chips so that our competitors couldn't get it and beat us.
Yeah, that's how competitive it was.
Yeah. But and that
it
was
worked.
to maintain the 2600, which even by 79, 80 was way out of date compared to what should have been continuing to come out.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think Atari will always have a future in that kind of novelty retro space to a degree, but maybe not in 100 years. I don't know. It's hard to say because the industry's still so early.
It is a young industry.
Well, you guys are younger than I. Mike's in his 40s. At some point our buddy Arthur will prevent you from using controllers like this, and I can't even pull. Oh, come on. My Atari Hyperkin Trooper 2.
I like that one.
Yeah. But at some point, like my mom, she's got the shakes, right? She's got the shakes, and she's gonna be like with the I know, what do I do? Here comes the
But I bet she would play much better with the BD Retro Mods controller because we have to get our plug-in.
Oh yeah. Speaking of BD Retro Mods, we didn't say this at the beginning, I don't believe.
No.
Brian was supposed to be on the show, but he couldn't make it, so we're sorry that he couldn't be here, but he will be back. The other Brian, yeah, Brian from BD Retro
Yes,
Mods.
the other Brian.
It's strange.
B-Dog.
I always think of myself as Brian, but people don't know me as Brian, but I am a Brian.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, Brian, wait, I'm here.
You're the Ballistic Coffee Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BCBB. It's actually close to my initials. It's pretty close to my initials. But
Oh yes. So OG Hugo also makes controllers. In 2 weeks, I'll be airing the review of this thing. But the reason OG Hugo that BD Retro Mug gets a plug is because he is a regular on the podcast. So we pretend like he sponsors the podcast because and Phil right there, he's put, well, I mean, his kids aren't in college yet, but he's paid the way.
Yeah. I had to build a room to put my controllers that Brian made me.
OG
Not
Hugo
exactly.
I will say, spoiler alert, OG Hugo makes a very good product.
You know what? That's in the same vein. If it's like Brian's from BD Retro Mods, he has the arcade style, but what you have, I wouldn't mind having that as well because
I like the game. I prefer the game pads for a lot of different.
Yeah, and so it might be easier to navigate and play with that. So
have y'all seen these before? Have y'all seen this?
No.
Disco
I found
ball.
this at a thrift store out here. This is actually an accessory you could buy back in the day to make it bigger. I found because I found this on eBay by itself in a box, but I found this at a thrift store. I was like, "What the hell?"
I've seen John from Gen X Grown Up. He's got a ball he puts on there. And he does
I've
like
seen
this.
Yeah.
Can't ever. I just play like this because this is the only way I've ever played.
Well,
play
Phil's
my
always been
2600.
used to a small one, so yeah.
Exactly. But, yeah, I mean,
so
it's not what
this
you got; it's what you do with it.
This comment here, OG Hugo, you can get $5 off, I believe, with the discount code MGG if you order anything.
Oh, whoa, man!
Which I will be mentioning in that video as well. But
you're hot stuff now that you get a discount code. So because you're
infomercial
plugging
that I'm on?
his product, I might have to do that. Send me a link. I might look into that.
OG Hugo. Yeah, I'll post a link in private chat here.
All right. So, I don't know. The conversation did kind of change a little bit. we went from,
we talked about Atari mostly. I was good.
I know. I veered off a couple times, but
That's okay.
I don't know. I want Atari to succeed, but
yeah, it's one of those like I have no issue with anything that's going on. I think they're doing well.
No, I like it.
But it's like nothing here is like woohoo! Yeah, I am so confident in the future and all that. That's kind of my.
I mean, like the different color controllers. I don't know if we even mentioned that. The thing has different color controllers, one for Pac-Man, which is yellow, and then one for each different color Ghost. But how much would it cost for the set? Did you say, Brian?
It's like 170 for off.
Why? Why would I mean?
I don't know.
Unless you're collecting for the sake of collecting.
I know.
I don't know why I would do it. I just don't know why.
This is for collectors, I think.
Yeah, it has to be, unless you're just so into Pac-Man that you just, I've got I have a Monday controller or Tuesday controller or Wednesday controller or whatever.
One of the interesting things I saw in their promotion about the controllers was they were highlighting that they were wireless and you could use them on PCs and other things too. So that's kind of how they're marketing it. But, I think it's for collectors. I mean, who's going to buy these 5? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would love to have them. If someone gave them to me, I would not be mad.
It's totally for collectors.
But Atari, if you want to send each of us 3 of those controllers, we'll review them thoroughly.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I'm one of those people, like I actually open them up too.
Yeah.
Me too.
But it's funny though, because like you were saying, do you need a different controller for every day of the week? Just Ataris that I've had over the years and all that. I probably have a different controller for every day of the month.
For just the 2600.
Yeah, for just the 2600.
For just the 26. I'm with you there. I have a ton of them.
Yeah, I've got 5 speaker hats, so.
Whoa!
Because they were $30 once.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Sue me.
That's all right.
Well,
all right,
guys. I really think that this was a fun episode, and I will say, it doesn't say anymore, but I looked up about 10-15 minutes ago, and we already had nearly 300 comments in the chat between Retro Bliss Rewind and the people who are watching over at Mike's Gaming Gala. This is a hot topic. A lot of you guys are interested in this, and I may get it, but I'm not jumping on the pre-order. I'm just gonna wait. So, but
yeah,
anyway,
I would like to have it, but it's not a oh my god, I have to have it.
Right. So
I have to have it for my channel, so I pre-ordered it. It's coming probably after those that order it on Amazon, but I'm used to that. And then I will make a week of content where I'm pissed off at the world and I hate everybody.
Told bad. It's already past Bliss's bedtime.
It is. It is. I'm going to be grounded for not going to bed on time.
It's 9:09, right where you are.
So just before we sign off, Phil, unfortunately, Poe wasn't here when I played it. Can I play it one more time before?
Absolutely, I would love for you to do that. We had an exclusive.
Exclusive.
We have an exclusive preview.
Pac-Man edition trailer.
The fun is back, oh yes sirree. It's the 2600 Plus from Atari. It's a video game system with classics galore, Midnight Mutants with Grandpa, and E.T. Sword. The classic joystick is back for more. King Kong Robots and Robots from 2084. One more thing, it's got a special low price, $130 bucks. Now isn't that nice? The fun is back, oh yes sirree. It's 2600 Plus from Atari.
Oh, hold the phone. Now there's a great new Pac-Man yellow color. and special edition tariff pricing. The fun is back. Yes, it is, my friend. What?
Never.
That is our friend, Mr. Postal. If you're not subscribed to Mr. Postal, you should be. He's hilarious.
You should be, because he is a trip. He is a trip.
And a
Love
half.
us some Mr. Post style on this channel. So
Trip and a half.
And
yeah,
while,
actually,
you know
that
what?
was old Poe. That wasn't Mr. Post style.
Yeah, that was old Poe, but
That was old Poe.
they're related.
Yeah.
We also,
Isn't that
we
Poe with that
also
makeup?
today, yeah, we also today had Game Freak in the chat. And,
Yes.
he just passed 1,500 subscribers. He covers a whole pile of stuff, Evercade related and other stuff. I'll give him a little plug as well. Go check.
He's a cool guy, and he's got a great channel.
He's growing really fast.
He's in here in Ohio, if I remember right, because I've seen him at a few gaming conventions, and he's just a fun guy, fun to be around. So anyway, listen, guys, I think this was a lot of fun. Thanks for playing that exclusive trailer again. That was awesome. I'll tell you what, man, old Poe, he's my buddy. We're about the same age, I think. Anyway. All right, guys. Next week, I believe, Mike, we are going to do one more Retro Bliss rewind before my operation. After that, you guys will have to go to Mike's Gaming Gala. We will probably be simulcasting the same way, but it's going to be called MGG Live. It won't be
live.
MGG Live. And I may even pop on there once or so, depending on what Mike wants to do and how I'm feeling. But shoulder surgery is no joke, so I'm gonna be down hard for a little bit. So anyway, next week we're gonna talk. I believe we're gonna do a top 5 of Magic. Is that what we talked about? Or
I've already made the thumbnail, man.
Oh man,
Nice. He's on
Look at us. 2 weeks in a row, we knew what we were going to do.
I'm telling you what, don't get used to it, guys. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you for watching on the channel. And so with that, let me figure out how to do this again. I can't remember. Oh yeah, where it says in stream, I have to go to media assets and then okay. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
All right, bye guys.